in. And now it's time for this afternoon session of Children's GBC with George Buxton, as he gets to present some programmes today, including some new premieres for the likes of Bangers and Mash and Binka the Cat.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Children's GBC on a fine Tuesday afternoon. Well, now, I know that we may have had 5 programmes for the past few weeks and some months, since we've had Four Ways Farm and some others. Well, apparently, now, we do have a few new programmes, and of course, we have one last airing of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is coming up later on this afternoon. But right now, it's now time for the new adventures of the Shoe People. And today's episode is called Wellington the Babysitter, in which today he gets to look after Baby Booty. That's a baby shoe, so that you know. And as Foxy would say, I came for your booty. That be treasure, you know. Just joking. But anyways, now here's the new adventures of the Shoe People.
I'm gonna take her to a dance.
When the swing broke.
Shoo people. Shoo people. Shoo people. Shoo people.
That was the new adventures of the Shoe People. Well, let me say one thing. Now, I know that Wellington did do a good job on babysitting Baby Booty. But there was one thing that he has done wrong, even if he has to own up sometimes. I don't think he's a very good babysitter. Do you? But anyways, now, the next programme now is that we have a new premiere for Children's GBC, and it's Bangers and Mash, the Two Cheeky Monkeys. And today's episode is all about eggs, and it's the first ever episode of it. And you know what they say? Eggs is eggs. And I say that's an excellent programme. Excellent programme. Anyways, here's Bangers and Mash. Oh, and make sure you keep an eye out for the intro song that was sung by Chas and Dave.
Bangers and mash, bangers and mash. Them chimps are in there, ain't no doubt. Bangers and mash, bangers and mash. I ain't a kidding you, them two keep monkeying about. They do the bangers and mash, bangers and mash. All they want to do is have some fun. They never mean to do no harm, but you can guarantee they'll upset the apple cart, no accidentally. Mash and bangers, clangers come about quite frequently. It's bangers and mash.
Far, far away, further than you have ever been on holiday, is an island. It is covered in trees. And look, there are houses in those trees. That's Chimpton. Oh, catching.
They never mean to do no harm, but you can guarantee they'll upset the apple cart, though accidentally. Mash and bangers, clangers come about quite frequently. It's bangers and mash.
And that was Bangers and Mash. Well, let me say one thing. That was an excellent programme. I've laughed again. But anyways, and I know that Bangers and Mash were only just messing around with eggs, because that's what they are, monkeys. Right, so the next one is another premiere, and this time, if you remember, if you've ever heard of Felix the Cat, and the same with the other cats that you saw, but have you ever heard of Binka? Well, if you haven't, here it is. And today's episode is Binka and Free Suppers. I wonder what it means by free suppers. Probably something to do with breakfast, lunch and dinner, no doubt. But anyways, here's Binka. And as they say, hey Binka!
Hey, Binka! Hey, Binka! Hey, Binka!
Binka has 3 houses.
And that was Binka. Yeah, let me say one thing. I'm so glad that Binka has enjoyed his free suppers. But anyway, I'm sure we'll have more Binka probably this coming Friday. But back to today, here's Playdays now, and we're at the 10th stop again. And just to give you a heads up, sadly this will be my last time to air the 10th stop episodes because I think we're nearly out of ideas now. So here's today's episode, and today's story is called The Mermaid's Garden. I wonder what it means by that. Well, let's go and join them now.
It's the play bus! But where does it go? Where does it stop? Watch for the sign of the lollipop. Stop! It's the 10th stop.
Hello and welcome to the play tent.
Hello!
And they all had a party. We've got to go now, but we'll be back next week with another story. Bye-bye. Bye.
And that was Playdays. Well, let me say one thing. I mean, you may have not heard of having a mermaid in a garden. Yeah, but that's what the that's what episode is. So I'm sure we'll have more Playdays, probably on Friday. But back to today on Children's GBC now. Here's the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, if you remember, now when I first premiered the other Sonic the Hedgehogs we've had in the past, well, you'll be very sad to know that, sadly, that this will be the last time to air the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And today's episode is called Sonically Ever After. Well, if you've ever heard of Happily, but never Sonically. Well, now let's go Sonically then. Get it? The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and sadly that was the last ever episode of it. Now, and I'm sure that we'll have some exciting news this coming Friday, and I know that Sonic will always come back in a new form. Yeah, and I'm sure you'll find out this Friday coming. Oh, and of course, now, we have one more new premiere now. Now, if you remember Looney Tune cartoons that I know some of you may have seen before, well, have you ever heard of Taz-Mania? Well, he's got his own TV show now, and today's episode is called The Dog, the Turtle Story. And I sure hope that Taz will be very careful when meeting a turtle, and as well as acting like a dog. Well, anyways, let's go and join him now, and hopefully he shouldn't cause rampage towards them.
Welcome to Atlantis Way, under, down, under. The sky's always yellow in rain or shine.
Come to Tasmania.
Mum's alive, why her dad's never run along. Molly's all fired up, or Jake plays with the dog.
Down in Tasmania, come to Tasmania.
Didgeridingo and Wendell T. Wolf. Francis X. Bush lad is never uncouth. Bushwhacker Bob and his mother gold mum. Constance and Dick just want to have fun. Boogator and Axel are always left sore. If you have a deal, just come on more. The Platypus brothers are a backing them out. The Kiwi, the Bush rats, have we left anyone out? Oh yeah, don't forget Taz.
He put the Taz in Tasmania, down in Tasmania, come to Tasmania. We mean you!
Was Taz-Mania. Well, so it turned out that that Taz has now got a turtle as a pet dog. How weird is that, eh? But anyways, that's Taz-Mania. Well, that's pretty much about it for today on Children's GBC, and I'm sure that I'll be back again on Friday morning. And I know that George will be here on Friday afternoon too. And I know that George has already done his on a Tuesday morning, so we'll see you soon for that. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
This is GTV, and if you think that spring is here, well, not really for this summer. Now, because we have our spring-themed edition of 3, 2, 1, and I think that today's special guest is Keith Harris and Orville the Chick. Now, will Orville be a bit nervous, as they've already looked at the audience? Well, you'll have to find out as you join Ted Rogers and, yes, even Dusty Beard. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Cue the intro.
Do have a great time. Until then, thank you very much for being lovely people. Till we see you. Good night, everybody. Fabulous week. Good night.
There'll be some more game shows of 3, 2, 1, probably this coming Friday this week. But of course that we've got some good programs coming up next. And of course we begin with Neighbours, and that's next on GTV. is GTV. And now it's time to head on down to Ramsey Street now for today's Neighbours. Well, 3, 2, 1.